Hi everyone. My name is Jerry Wise, and in this video, I want to talk about the narcissistic sibling, particularly the adult narcissistic sibling. I've worked with so many people who have trouble with their narcissistic siblings and how difficult that has been for them over the years. The narcissistic sibling creates a lot of family drama and chaos and pain. Particularly for those who are trying to deal with them, those who don't have that disorder of narcissism, and who are trying to be reasonable. And reasonableness does not get rewarded by narcissists. Let me repeat that. Reasonableness does not get rewarded by narcissists. So, how do they affect us in negative ways? First of all, narcissistic siblings and narcissists in general locate the parents' or family's pain in us. They don't see it in the family. They don't see it in the parents. They see it in us if we're a sibling of theirs, particularly if we're a scapegoat, and that will become a problem. Many times narcissistic siblings will be even overprotective of parents to control them and to control others. So they locate the pain and the problems in the person who is the truth teller, the reasonable one, the secrets revealer, the more rational member of the family. Secondly, they project their anger, hurt, and shame as though it is yours. And then we are the crazy ones. When they will continue to project these feelings on us, we get tired of it after a while and then are reactive. And guess who's the crazy one? Me, not them. And many times people will feel sorry for them and not realize what we have been put through as a result of a narcissistic avoidance, demeaning, triangulating, gossiping, scapegoating type of issues that they involve themselves in regarding us. And again, we have to be the one with the pathology to a narcissistic sibling. Thirdly, they often enmesh and conquer. Now, many times we say divide and conquer. Narcissistic siblings enmesh and conquer. And they enmesh and conquer you. They play the family dynamics in a manipulative way to avoid everyone's responsibility. So they get a nice little club going that we're not going to take responsibility for our own behavior, our own choices. We're all just going to be glued together and we're going to enmesh and conquer the ones who don't join our club emotionally. And so they enmesh and conquer. And that's also a scapegoat approach. If you're going to scapegoat someone, is to enmesh and conquer. And you conquer the scapegoat and you avoid the responsibility for your feelings, your thoughts, your behavior. You avoid all that. It's a marvelous tool. It just is very unhealthy, very pathological. I want you to hold on to the end. I'm going to share some tips with you. I also want to say regarding these things I'm sharing with you, my online program, Your New Road to Self, is available. You can click the link down below in the description, and you'll find the help that I bring and the answers that I bring to these problems that I'm sharing with you. And it's 6 modules. Also, you get a year's worth of sessions with me monthly in a group for those who have signed up for the program. Number 4, often they use triangulation, siblings, as a pseudo-intimacy. And so many times the parents are oblivious, or they get benefits of being taken care of by the narcissistic sibling, or don't need the care of the narcissistic sibling. But many times, often the people I've worked with, the parents have kind of been dependent on the narcissistic sibling, and they use this triangulation as a pseudo-intimacy. It's a pseudo relationship. And narcissistic siblings always talk about other people. Always talk about other people. I had a title for this video, which was You Never Stop, the Narcissistic Sibling. Because I've found in people I've worked with who've had siblings like this, they just keep saying they never stop. They never stop. They never stop and reflect. They never, they always bring up the old things. They always triangulate. They always talk about other people because they have a difficulty talking about themselves unless they get angry and need to dump that on someone else. Number 5, there's no equity in reactivity, but it's seen as equitable by a narcissistic sibling. Let me give you an example. And this is also true of most narcissists, but siblings do this often. 2 years ago, you were so frustrated by your sister and her narcissism that you got so upset and were reactive and you had a brief outburst. That is equivalent to their 25 reactivities and rages over the last 2 years. There is no equity in reactivity, but it's seen as equitable. It's seen by the narcissist, but there really is no parity of that. Me being upset 2 years ago and saying, "Oh, this is so ridiculous. I don't know why you act this way." That's equal to all of the damage that the narcissist brings. And it's equitable and seen as equitable. You did this, I did, or you do this too. That was 2 years ago. The circumstances were totally different, but they are seen as the same. They are seen, we're both just as bad. And in fact, your outburst was probably worse than my 25. Number 6, but you cannot talk about the past because you will be accused of always wanting to talk about the past and you're holding a grudge. So if you go, well, Danita, 2 years ago, I was really upset. It was a very difficult time. You were driving me crazy, and you really were. And I got upset that once. Do you know how many times you have hung up on me, cussed at me, criticized me, demeaned me, and or possibly got angry or raged at me in the last 2 years? That's all about the past. That Jerry, all you think about is the past, and you're just holding a grudge. So you never can clarify the inequality because it's seen as equitable. And if you try to explain that, then you're just stuck in the past. I know there are many things that can be a trigger. And many times we've tried to talk to our siblings, all of our siblings, many times, to try to have a better relationship, to try to have a better understanding in the family. And when there's been narcissism, we keep trying, hoping that maybe it might change. We've even sent them letters, emails, texts to help them try to see the truth. And you know why we do that? Because we as humans, I believe, and others as well, have an innate desire to share a reality with others. I want them to share the same reality I have, and I want them to share that. The narcissist cannot do that and will not do that. Now, they will want you to share their reality, but they're not going to do anything to share your reality. And so we'll try to help them understand that we can have a shared reality. Let's talk about the facts. No, that's no. The facts are based on feelings for them. They're not based on objectivity. They're only based on subjectivity. And this makes it hard to believe ourselves over the narcissistic siblings' messages and judgments. When we get messages and judgments from narcissistic parents, narcissistic siblings, guess what? We tend to believe them and have believed them growing up. Why do we do that? Because we're stupid? Absolutely not. Because we're bad people? Absolutely not. Because the messages are true? Absolutely not. We accept them because we want to share a reality with them. And this is their reality, and they kind of go in. And then they become our internalized reality. Because we want to share that reality, even if it's a negative reality. At least we get to share a reality. Let me share a few brief tips. If you want much more help, check out the online program. And as I share these tips, I want you to subscribe, comment on my videos, like them. I would appreciate that very much. A, trust what the narcissistic sibling shows you, not what you hope to see. The old adage, trust their behavior, not their words. Trust what the narcissist shows you, not what you're hoping to see. And we hope to see it because we want to share that reality with them, as we like to share it with other people. B, stop the emotional mental leases or renting in your head, in your emotions. We end up stewing about them all the time, thinking about them, even obsessing about them. When I see that my brother called me, and I see there's a message on there, and then then the brother is already leasing out my feelings and leasing out my mind. And I think there are ways to stop that emotional, mental leasing out. I share much more about that in the program. And that I believe there's ways we can begin to give that up and stop giving our power away. C, avoid confrontations. Confrontations with narcissistic siblings will draw criticism most every time because they don't share the same reality that you share. If necessary, and you must communicate, be calm, assertive, businesslike, neighborly, meaning what would my neighbor do? Working to get emotional distance between you and the sibling. Treat them in a businesslike way or professional way, because we need that separation emotionally. We're far too close to them emotionally, enmeshment-wise. That's why we get triggered. That's why we get upset, annoyed. Lastly, I want you to remember, you are as lovable as they see you as
Your love is a mist that surrounds me like a cloud. I'm chasing the highs and the lows of a love avowed. In the silence I hear your voice, whispering my name, a silent call that beckons me to the flames. I'm lost in your ocean where the tides are high, drowning in the moment. I'm never saying goodbye. In your love I'm free where the darkness shines. Lost in your ocean, I'm home, my love.
lovable. I'll prove that in my online program. I hope that you've been helped today by watching. I do want to thank you for watching. Have a great day and be wise.